Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got this lovely little watch in from Seiko. This is part of the Seiko 5 range, so that's the affordable kind of, I always think of it as the gateway watch of choice to get into mechanical, well, or automatic watches. And they're just cracking value. They've always been really good watches, and they've so many different variations. This one here is the brand new Seiko 5 Sports Ash Blue 1968 recreation. That is a limited edition piece. It is available in a couple of other different, well, I've seen the black colour. I'm not sure if there's more. This one though is the one which I think looks most period correct for the actual watch. This silver dial with its sunburst just looks really, really cool. And it's got a little hidden feature which you might not notice at first. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches for always being absolute superstars and really helpful. They've got so much stock. If you're in the Midlands area, I'd strongly recommend popping into the dealership. If you're further afield, well, don't worry, because I'll leave a link in the description below and at the bottom of the page now. All I ask is that you do mention the channel. So anyway, before I get to its little hidden feature, let me tell you about the sizes of this watch. Now, it states on the blurb that it's 38.5, which is true, the case size, but the actual bezel of the watch, which is the widest point, is 39.5. So it feels very much, you know, it feels, well, no, what's a better way to say it? Because the case which sits on your wrist, it feels like a 38.5, but the optic is a slightly larger watch due to the bezel. The thickness of the watch is coming in at 12.7 mil, and the lug to lug, longest point across the watch there, is coming in at 44.7, I think it was, and the bracelet is a 20mm bracelet. Now, the dial is really cool. I think it just has that real vintage vibe to it. Definitely, yeah, that's the thing at the moment, isn't it? A lot of manufacturers are trying to get the vintage look, and this one I think nails it. It just looks really cool. The sunburst effect, as stated before, looks superb. You can see the light, the way it reflects along there, looks great. You have these nice applied hour markers, which do feature a decent amount of lume, to be fair, as do to the hands. And yes, being a Seiko, it does look good, and it seems to last pretty well as you know. On top of that, you do have the text on here, Seiko, the 5 badge, and sports model down there. Automatic 24 jewel, 10 bar, so it's a 100-meter water resistant watch, I should say. The hands are beautifully polished. They look ever so good, and I love the red second hand. The contrast just looks so good, and then even where it says sports in blue there, it really does highlight that, and I think it looks superb. The actual, well, let's talk about the little hidden feature you might not expect. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit just so you can see. Now, the date window there, normal day date affair. Now, if I pull the crown out, and there'll be a lot of Seiko fans who will really like this, you can have the Japanese Kenji date window, date actual markers on there, which is very, very cool, because the amount of Seiko fans who love the Japanese date day on there, that looks just absolutely superb. The numbers themselves stay the same, but you do have the Japanese on there, so you can pick in between whichever one you want. You can have it in, let's try and get that in a light, plain old English, or you can have it in the Japanese there, which just looks very, very cool. No idea what it is, but there's a good excuse to learn Japanese. So yeah, that's a nice little detail, I think, on this watch you don't see on many others. Now, as you come past that, the actual crystal is a hard lux, but it is a domed crystal on there, so it gives it a little bit more of a kind of interesting optic. Now, the bezel itself, they've gone for true sort of like 60s bezel. Instead of having a ratchet, it is a friction bezel. So what I mean by that, there is no clicks at all. This is just lovely and smooth. Now, it's not loose in any way, shape or form. It's got just the right amount of friction, I would say. Now, you may say that, yeah, that's no good. But if you were to buy a Rolex Submariner of the day, which would be, is it reference 1680 or 5513, it would have the same style bezel on there. So it is only friction, and the beauty of that means it will always align, which is a bonus, let's say, for some. The actual, so you can purchase it nice and easily. You've got the coin edge bezel going there, and you have what looks like an aluminium insert, which I think suits the watch down to the ground. If this was to have a ceramic insert in there, it just would not look right, I think, personally anyway. So overall, that looks superb. Now, the case of the watch, they've got this really nice kind of lovely smooth, it's not quite tonneau style, but it just looks superb. Nice bit of polishing, and you can get to the, yeah, they've got drilled lugs there. Now, where this will help is this watch also comes with a rally style strap. So it comes, I must say, in a beautiful box, a real nice red kind of, it looks special, the box, and inside you are treated also to a calf leather rally style strap, which I can imagine on this watch would look very, very cool. Very you know, it kind of suits the period of the watch, what they're trying to aim for. Now, as we turn this around, we've got a solid case back. I must point out the case back is fully numbered with the limited edition number on there. Now, underneath there, being that this is a Seiko 5, you are going to get the 4R36 movement. So you've got around about 40 hours of power reserve and a 24 dual movement. I put it on the time grapher and it was coming out around about 8 seconds, let's say, plus 8. Now, it's one of those things you can, that might get better as you wear the watch, or you can always, you know, if you're a, yeah, to be fair, it's not bad anyway, but you can always get it regulated if one so desired. Now, the bracelet looks very cool because they've gone for the, again, the right kind of bracelet for the period, or at least what it looks like it, because back then most of the bracelets would have been one of these style, which is an elasticated bracelet. These are, they always fit right, but they are a pain because they always trap arm hair and gunge in them. This isn't. This just looks like it is, and it is fully adjustable all the way along. He says, can I get out in focus? There we go. So yeah, that is really, really good. The actual back, the clasp, sorry, is a fold over clasp there. You do have micro adjustment, but albeit 2 points of adjustment there. That's it. Let's put this on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. A quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Nomos Club Campus there, and Bob has gone for the Citizen. I think that's a very cool watch. The Forzara, I believe it's called. Full titanium. Very, very nice. Now, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. That equates to roughly, I think it's 18.5 centimeters. Now, as you can see, loads of space on that bracelet there. And I think that just looks kind of cool. You know, I think for the price, these are just cracking watches. They look really, really good. They sit nice. This one, you can see how well it sits down on the wrist there. I think it looks great. Anyway, guys, any questions, leave them in the comments below. As you know, I always try and get back to you, though it is getting a little bit harder because there's far more questions. I'm trying to keep on top of it. But most importantly, stay safe up there, guys. All the best. Bye.